Hello all and welcome to this late afternoon's beer review. I'm doing my review a bit later than usual. Sorry, I need to go and turn this down a little bit. Doing my review a little bit later than usual today because chicken issues. My baby got wet and I used a high-powered hose to go and clean the massive amount of doo-doo my chickens make every day. And I wasn't paying very good attention with the hose, and I nailed the baby. And you know, because it's small and everything, it's kind of like hitting it with a gigantic fire hose. And so I had to kind of dry him off and clean him up and everything. And he wasn't too happy about that, but he's fine now, other than a little bit of water in the ears. And now he's eating food, and there's like 20 trash doves outside eating the food as well. So, yeah, on to tonight's beer review. What are we reviewing? Well, we're back to growler reviews. Why are we back to growler reviews? Because we've kind of reviewed everything bottled and canned here in Hawaii. You know? So it's back to the growlers. And what are we reviewing? We are reviewing something from Waikiki Brewing. Of course, that's the one in Brewhouse in Waikiki. And this is Island Time Marzen. So Marzen, you know, the Oktoberfest lager style. It's just fairly light for this. I'm doing this so I can scare the doves away so they don't eat the chicken's food. And so fairly light for a Marzen at 5.5. And well, why don't we go and get to this? And we'll be using this glass today. Okay. There we go. Now, as you know, Marzen style is one of my favorite styles. Why is it one of my favorite styles? Because it's kind of a malt forward and malt backward style. So, this is a nice golden copper color, clear, somewhat carbonated. Let's go and turn on the light so I can get a good reading of the head here. With an off-white head. That seems to be thick. Definitely old world style German hops. Spicy and kind of flowery. Big bready malts. Sweet bready malts. And that sort of almost caramelized baking bread sort of smell that I go and associate with good good high quality German malts. Why don't we get to this, shall we? Finish is nice and clean. And the sweet brown bread, slight nuttiness in the front. Old world style hop bitterness. So not very rindy, just sort of, it's hard to describe the bitterness. I don't want to say tannic, but not like New World. It's not resinous, this sort of bitterness. Is definitely old world style hops. Sweetness into the mids. That more or less completely clears the palate in the finish. It's nicely clean. Fairly thick mouthfeel for something that's only 5.5 ABV. Not a lot of complexity, but a Marzen is not really a style that you're looking for complexity. Marzen is a style where you're trying to hit one of the, where you're trying to hit all the points. It's a fairly narrow lager style, not as narrow as, say, a Pilsner or say a Kolsch, but definitely, malty. This is definitely malt forward. Drinkable and enjoyable. I would have gone for a little bit more intensity in the taste. Dialed down just a wee bit. I would prefer it to be a little bit more, they're just maybe a little bit more toasty, a little bit more nutty. Kind of match that hop bitterness there. And maybe just 0.5 ABV higher in strength. That would definitely improve it a little bit in my book. By no means is this bad. It's just workable. It's a workable Marzen. That's just a little bit not quite there to my palate. Some people might find this just absolutely okay. Because my big thing is I just prefer a little bit more intensity on the malts. Malt flavors. There's definitely the malty sweetness is there. Just a little bit more bread, toasty nuttiness there. So that's your beer review for today, folks. Waikiki Brewing's Island Style Marzen. No, Island Time Marzen. Excuse me. Perfectly drinkable. To style. Give it a shot if you're there, maybe. If you enjoy Marzens as much as I do. That's your beer review for tonight, folks. Prost.